Hey guys, how you doing? This is GuanYu007 and I am coming back finally with another video for CMU and how to go ahead and up and install your CMU. But I'm doing it for the Monster Hunter community. So as we all know, Monster Hunter World won't be released until about 6 months down the line, and I'm going to go ahead and bet around possibly September. I understand they say 6 months, but we also have to realize this is the AAA gaming space we're dealing with. 6 months can equally turn into 9 months. So I understand the frustration about that. I myself am enjoying Monster Hunter World on PS4, and I will definitely get it on the PC. But as we all know, we can still have fun with some of the old Monster Hunters, such as Monster Hunter Unite. Monster Hunter. Well, actually, we can still have fun with Monster Hunter Unite as well. But Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, dust off my bones, and we're going to go ahead and get right into the new CMU. Now, a warning. I haven't did this in a while. Another warning. I am going to install the new CMU fresh, but I will not install the game fresh because I believe everybody should be familiar with Wii U USB helper. If not, I'll link my last video that I did that covered the Wii U USB helper portion of how to download Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first thing you want to do is very important, and I know I don't usually say these things, but it is very important that you guys understand a couple of things. One, you want to most definitely upgrade all of your drivers. That means if you have a Windows update, update it. If you have driver updates for NVIDIA or AMD, update them. And most importantly, because a lot of people will run into this problem, most definitely download the Visual Studio 2015 redistribution package. I don't know why a lot of people seem to forget that. Sometimes, and it's not actually some people, it's the Windows updates. Sometimes they will overshoot one of these. I don't understand it either, but I will have this link down in the description below. Just go ahead, click on it, and download it. I don't need to. I've already updated as followed, but if something does mess up, I will definitely have this re-downloaded and reinstalled. The next thing you'll need is the CMU emulator itself. Once you have that, just go ahead and press download. Links will be down in the description below. The next thing you will want to get is the updated CMU hook. Now, I'm also familiar that there are problems with Breath of the Wild for CMU itself, and I am not done looking into that. However, time constraints, I am doing the fan favorite right now, which is Monster Hunter. So we will cover Monster Hunter first, and we'll cover Breath of the Wild later. The next thing you'll need to do is you'll need to go to the page, links down in the description below, for Wii U USB helper. And as you can see, it is a managing tool for Wii U and 3DS backups. Now, I am currently not going to do the 3DS backups part, so I'm not really worried about that. What we're going to go ahead and do is focus on the Wii U USB, or excuse me, the Wii U part of the situation. So what you see here is you see a download for Android and you see a download for Windows. Go ahead and click on the download for Windows. I don't know why I clicked on that. I already have it, but whatever, right? The next thing you would want to do is, and it's very important, a lot of people just keep asking, hey, where do you get the games? How do you get them? And whatnot. Once you start installing Wii U USB helper, you're going to want to definitely go into Google search and type in Wii U title keys. Now there are going to be multiple sites, of course. Pick which one. I'm going to say I picked the first one, but pick whichever one you want and go ahead and paste that into the directory that is needed to download said keys for the game. That's as much as information I can give you before, we start saying that it's illegal. So please screenshot, please do whatever you want, but make sure to remember that. Now, as we have downloaded everything, we're going to go ahead and minimize the window as such. We are going to go with this folder that I've already have for CMU stuff, but I believe I've already picked out everything. Yes, I have. So first things first, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set up for the Wii U USB helper, just in case you guys want to do it this route. Quick setup you'll need to do is you're going to need to make a games download folder. You're going to make a games extract folder. Then you're going to make a Wii U USB helper. So what you want to do is go ahead and pump in the Wii U USB helper, take it out of your folders for your extraction, whichever folder that might be, which will be the downloads bar for me, and just hold it right there. This is important for later. Now what we're going to do is we're going to extract the CMU here, which will put it in a space that I don't have a folder in. Take your extracted CMU, open it. Then we're going to take the CMU hook folder that I have right here. We're going to extract that into place as such. And then we're going to take that zip file and pull that out. So now we have the bare bones of what we need specifically for CMU itself. And first things first, I am going to cut this fucking music. Okay. I'll turn it back on a little bit later, but no, not for right now. So now that we have CMU 1.11.4 updated, we should be ready to go, right? Wrong. So what we want to do is open up CMU, and we're going to download the 4 shared fonts that are missing. Shouldn't take that long. Okay, now that we see the 4 shared fonts that are missing, the CMU plugin is connected, and you see a hyperlink right to the plugin itself. You should be fine with just opening up your files, taking a look, or your files, your options, your tools, your CPU, and all the such, and see exactly what you can play with. So right now we see full screen, enable VSync mode, graphics packs. I do not use graphics packs for Monster Hunter at all. Some people do. Some people use the 4K graphics packs. That's not something I do. You can go ahead and upscale filter. We're going to go with bilinear for your options, and we can go always downscale with bilinear. Full screen, we're going to keep aspect ratio. For GPU buffer, we're going to go with I believe they switched these. We're going to go with low for GPU buffer accuracy. Separate game screen, pad game screen. All that does is gives you the inside Wii U pad that we're accustomed to if you ever play on the Wii U, which if you're looking on this channel, more likely you probably have. So it's just a separate screen. I'll probably toss that up in a minute, but don't worry about that right now. Then we have the audio settings, and we can go ahead and set your audio for whatever settings you want. If you have Dolby 5-channel surround sound connected to your PC, you can go ahead and put that on. If you have stereo or an HDMI, you can go ahead and keep it as stereo. Let's see. Then we have gamepads by default, or the USB slot. I have a motion gamepad automatically, but you can go ahead and keep it on default if you wish to do so. We're going to go down to experiment, and we're going to click off of Breath of the Wild workaround. We do not need that for Monster Hunter. And we're going to click off use RDTSC. We do not need that experimental feature at all. For console reason, we'll keep it on auto. It will distinct which region it's from. From console language, we're going to keep it on English. Okay, now that we got that out the way, we're going to go to the elephant in the room, which is the input settings. So before you do the input settings, make sure you have whatever gamepad adapter or gamepad program or application running. That should be running before you open up CMU. Therefore, it will seek out CMU, and you'll be able to use your gamepad as such. So we're going to go ahead and do inputs now, so we don't have to do them later. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to distinguish which gamepad we want. And I am currently looking for my gamepad. There it is. My Wii U gamepad, so I can go ahead and do this letter for letter, button for button with you guys. Currently, I'm using a PS4 controller, so naturally I'm going to do the PS4 direct input. However, if you have an Xbox controller, you would use the X input, which is your DirectX input, period. And once you click it in or use a USB cord or adapter, you'll be able to instantly input your controller buttons or your buttons or your controller layout via Windows itself. Now, if you're using what is the other one called? The one with the penguin. God, I can't think of it right now. If you're using that operating system, you know, the one with the penguin, Linux. There we go. If you're using Linux, I can't help you on that. I'm sorry. I do not use Linux. I use Windows. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go with emulator. What we want as an emulator, we want we're going to go with the Wii U pad. Then we're going to go with DirectX input. Then we're going to go with connected. And we're going to go with, you see two. Sometimes you'll see one, sometimes you'll see two. CMU has now allowed you to just plug your controller in. Sometimes I still use DS4 because it's a habit, and I don't think I'm going to stop using that habit at all until they take away that ability. So for DS4 users, you're going to see controller, Xbox 360 for Windows. Click on it, everything will be fine. You go ahead and follow the prompts that I'm going to go ahead and give you. So now as I'm looking at my controller, and we're going to start at A, and I'm looking at the Wii U controller, we're going to press circle for A, X for B, triangle for A, or excuse me, triangle for X, square for Y, L1 for L, R1 for R, L2 for ZL, R2 for ZR, options for plus, share for minus. And now these next sets are the analog sticks. So L click is L3, L up is L up, L down is L down, L left is L left, L right is L right. And we do the same thing for R. So click in R for click, R up, R down, R left, R right, and D-pads, which is self-explanatory. D-pad up, D-pad down, D-pad left, D-pad right. A lot of people like to fix their dead zones. I keep my dead zones as default just to see if CMU's done anything weird with the dead zones or if they try to calibrate them on their own. Sometimes they will do that. And then I will make my adjustments later. Some people like to put them on 10, some people like to put them on 5, some people like to put them on 20. I will keep them standard because I'm used to that. Mic blow, you don't need to use a mic blow. And screen show, all you have to do is tap on the screen with your mouse to do screen show. So you don't need to worry about these at all. The next thing you need to do is you need to go up to profile, and we're going to call this test DS4 con, and we're going to save this loadout. So therefore, if anything ever happens, I can just go to load. Oh, sorry, I can just go to the drop down button right here, click, go to DS4 test con, go to load, and it should automatically load this same configuration I have. Once you are done with that, you can go ahead and click off. Very important. Sometimes when you load a game, it'll forget. This has happened before. It'll forget that it's connected to a controller, and all you need to do is within the game itself, go up to options, go into input, go into profile, go into DesCon, load up. Everything should be fine. Alright, now let's look at tools. Memory search. Memory search is basically like cheat engine. You can go ahead and go in and find the values of certain games and then write your own custom cheats or custom trainer if you want. I'm not sure how many people in the CMU community that are watching this video would go ahead and recommend cheat engine or not. I do a lot of work with cheat engine. I like writing my own trainers. That's just me. You can use this in tandem with cheat engine, and it's very much so recommended. If you need more help, you can definitely go to the Reddit that is for both cheat engine and CMU, and they will help you out. Not only that, we can go ahead and download the big engine translator, so therefore you can go ahead and start writing out your cheats as well. Now for CPU, now the mode is I'm sticking with single core and fast. I do not need the dual core. I do not need a triple core because Monster Hunter does not need that. However, if you need to run this on dual core, which I don't, even though I have a i5, go ahead, rock out with your socks. Let me know what happens in the comments. I am not going to do that. I'm going to stick with single core. Timer, we're going to go with host based, which is recommended. And for all logical cores, again, all logical cores for infinity. This right here, NF scan, is for amiibos. I'm not using amiibos. Monster Hunter doesn't need amiibo protection, so you don't need to worry about that. Logging, don't worry about this. Textures and shader dumps, don't worry about that. Render upside down, I don't know why you want to do that. View PPC threads, don't worry about that. Precompiled shader cache, enable the default. CPU extensions, don't worry about that. timer accuracy, set that to 1 millisecond. Custom timer, we're going to use QPC. We're going to keep it on the same speed as normal. Audio debugger, don't worry about that. View RPL modules. This is new. I have not used it. I don't know what it does. I will find out what it does later, but from what it looks like, it is part of the new CMU hook, as you can tell with the little hooks on the side. Help is basically about, and now that we're done setting up CMU itself, we can go ahead and start looking into different areas within CMU itself. So we know that there's our shader caches, which are precompiled and transferable. Monster Hunter, for certain systems, you do not need a shader cache. For other slower systems, you might need a shader cache. I'm sorry, that's just how that is. I can't help with that. Right now, I'm running at 1060 super clock, and of course, I'm not going to see a problem. There really has never been a problem with my system for Monster Hunter other than the blocky textures, which we'll get into that as well. So now that this is completely set up, the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to click on CMU, right click on it, go to properties. Alright, now that we've clicked on it and went to properties, we're going to go to compatibility. You're going to want to click on override high DPI behavior, scaling behavior. You're going to want to disable full screen optimizations, and you're going to want to run this program as administrator. Then you're going to want to apply the settings, and then you're going to want to click OK. After you're done with that, because we're pretty much done with our setup in our folder for CMU itself, you're going to want to go ahead and click on the Wii U Updater. Now, I already have Wii U USB Updater. So the next thing you're going to want to do, if you remember what I said in the beginning of the video, is once you click on the updater, it's going to ask you where your files are that you want to use. You're going to want to use which file you're downloading at and which file you're storing the Wii U USB helper. I don't remember which way they do it. I believe it's USB helper and then download folder. I know it doesn't say anything about your extraction folder. Hold on to your socks. Don't worry about that right now. Once you're done with the updater, you can go ahead and pitch it. You don't need it anymore. And then you can go ahead and set wherever your folders, you can set those down to any areas you want. I'm just going to set that back, but I'm going to keep the game extractions out because the game extractions is where you're actually going to put most of your games at after they're extracted. So I'm going to open Wii U USB helper. And once you're finished doing the very beginning, you're going to see that bar, which is going to load it up. And then you're going to see this screen. And if you come into it as a return customer, of course, you're going to see this, which is going to tell you, hey, there's new titles, blah, dee 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 dee. And you go, oh, that's great. That is awesome. It's new titles. Okay. Okay. And then you just click on X because you don't need to see the rest of the new titles at all. On the side, of course, you're going to see this stuff, which is advertisements. And then you're going to see the extract directory. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm using the European version of Monster Hunter. As you can see the EUR on it, or the EUR in a lot of the games. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to search files for games. We're going to type in Monster, and just with that, I should be seeing multiples of it. And I'm blind and I can't see. I see Monster Hunter Ultimate Pocket Edition. This is the 3DS version. Here it is. So here is Monster Hunter right here. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, 6 gigs, European version. Now, a lot of people will want to start downloading, but before you do that, set up your extraction folder. So here is the set extraction directory down here. Click on that. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and set it to your game's EX or extraction, and then you're going to extract, or excuse me, you're going to set it up for that where you have select folder. Once you select a folder for extraction, once you start going in and downloading your games from queue, which is very easy, all you have to do is select a game, right click, and then you can start downloading it from a queue. You see games download, games updates, DLC download, copy to SD, delete, mark as installed, mark as not installed, unpack, play, prepare for emulation, manage emulation data, download specific files, experts only. And since a lot of us aren't experts, we're going to just do it this way. For a downloads game, you're going to you're going to click on downloads game. What's going to happen is you're going to go to a queue. Go ahead. You can go ahead and do it right now. It'll be fine. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to click on download updates. And once you see download updates, you're going to see this window. Once you see this window, you're just going to click on whichever update you want. Currently, we're on version 32, which is only 197, 98 megabytes and should go by pretty fast. So you don't need to select all, you just need to click on one box and then you press OK from the menu. Once you press OK from the menu, you should see the queue happening and you should see a download window. Don't worry. However, if you did not pick to unpack any of the stuff from the load line, don't worry, got you covered. All you have to do is go to unpack load line and it's going to extract everything that's in your downloaded folder into your extraction folder. And you know what, since I guess it'll be better just to show you, I'm not going to download the game. Monster Hunter such and such and such has an update, you want to download that. No. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to download that. I'm not going to start this download at all because there is no reason for me to start this download. What we're going to do is we're going to clear because I'm not downloading it. But as you saw, once you say download game, it's in the queue. When you download games, and this is an important thing, do not download the update with the game. That's a whole lot of foutage you do not want at all. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually download the update so you guys can see how the download process goes. So just go in, select update, press yes, and you can go ahead and start downloading your update. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. And towards the side, the ETA, and you see the downloads itself. Yeah, looks like they actually changed the screen. It never used to look like that. I believe down here it also says unpack. You can go ahead and click that if you want. And it should unpack as well as download. And bingo, should be done. That was pretty fast. Normally downloads like this aren't pretty fast, and I understand. So respecting other people's internet connections speeds, I know that it will never be that fast or that slow depending on where you're at. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on OK. Once we're done with this, and we will be done with this pretty fast, we will just go and click out. Now everything should be in your extraction folder. And yes, I know I have more games than Monster Hunter in my extraction folder, but don't worry about that. Once you have Monster Hunter and you have your extraction folder, all you would need to do is go to your CMU folder, as I'm going to put this extraction folder up. Open your CMU. Once you open your CMU, hit File, hit Install. Where is it at? Yeah, install DLCs and updates. Go to where the files are. I know I have amiibos right here, but that's for Zelda. Don't worry about that. You're going to go install DLCs. Actually, let me go back. Yeah, install updates and DLCs. I'm sorry, I'm brain farting. So, as we see right here, we have the update, which is unpacked, and we have the actual game. Your actual game is always going to end in some weird letters like this, the AHD, and the update is always going to have URL or unpacked, depending on where you got it. So we're going to unpack, or we're going to update this unpacked. We're going to go to meta, and we're going to never mind. We're going to go to meta, and then we're going to go to update. And that was actually pretty damn fast. So the update is now installed. And the update actually goes into the route within your own CMU. So don't worry about that. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and load the game itself. So we're going to back up. We're going to go to Monster Hunter. We're going to go to code content, and we're going to go to the actual file. Now, if you did everything right, you should see something like this. We're going to skip that for copyright reasons. I'm going to press A. We're going to go, nope, I got no data, so we're going to go with make a new character. Alright, this is very important, so pay attention. We're going to make a new character. We're going to make her female. And here's the thing that always gets people. When they say, oh my god, it doesn't fucking work. What happened? What happened? It doesn't work. Chill out. Pay attention. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to press circle, or whatever the execution is for name. It's going to say your name as a character is going to be visible, blah, 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 guild card. Okay. Now you see this? This is a white line. Sometimes it's a black line. Sometimes it's a black screen. Sometimes it's a black line. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in Kiki. So type in Kiki as planned. Don't worry about it. Just Shift K I, Shift K I, and we're going to add some numbers. Space 007. Once you're done, press enter or return. Depends on what's on your keyboard. And bam, that's how you do your name. Very important, guys. When a lot of people message me and go, I can't type in my name, what's going on? You didn't pay attention to the video, guys. That's all you have to do. So we're going to go over it one more time. We're going to, yes, this is what we want to do for a name. I'm going to backspace all of that. And we're going to go with MXR Chic. And then we're going to press enter. Bam. That's how you do it. So aside from that, we can go ahead and start the game. We're going to pick out underwear. We're going to pick out a face. Let's see. I think MXR is Asian. Where's Zoom Y? Alright, let's pick the most Asian-y face ever. Nope, that's Anglo, Asian, actually Negro. I don't. Not seeing it. Did they just make the women just almost the same? That's weird. Like the guys, you can actually see the difference in the guys, but in the women, it's like, you can't hardly see what's what. You know what? I'm just gonna go with this. We're just gonna go with that. Let's just do that. And for hairstyles, we're gonna go with let's rotate. I thought they had the buns on this one. Like the Chinese buns. I really like those. You know, the ones that Chun-Li usually have. Yeah. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to go with pigtails. Let's go with pigtails. Voice. All right, let's do a test. And let's press circle to test out the voices. Yeah, we'll go with that. Skin tone. Yeah, that's... It's like that's not representing what I'm seeing, but whatever. Let's see. Let's go southern China. Let's go hair, which is sometimes brown, sometimes blackish. Let's go with black. In fact, can I just make the color? Yes, I could just make the color. So let's... There we go. Features. They had features, which were like face tattoos. That makes no sense. Clothing color. No. Alright. I think we're done. We can go ahead and label her off. Nope, we're not doing the second screen, even though we could. We're just going to go with standard. We're going to go ahead and save right here. And we're going to go through the impending Monster Hunter crash. So let's go ahead and take a look. And God, I really do hate unskippable cutscenes. Oh, let me move this mouse out the way. That woman has a huge belly. Out of every Monster Hunter, I've always loved the cats, which were called felines. But now in Monster Hunter World, they're called palicos. Unless Monster Hunter Ultimate 4, which I never played, called them pelicos as well, but I'm not really sure about that. Speaking of stuff I'm not really sure about, I've been thinking about streaming Monster Hunter World, and I'm at Monster Rank 69 right now, and I could say Monster Hunter World is good. It's worth the purchase, no matter what system you're playing it on, except for Xbox, because I hear that they're having real server issues. And let's see, does it still crash? Yep, it still crashes. Alright, now that we know that it does still crash, go ahead and click on Close Program. Once you click on Close Program, just open up the CMU executable again. And then run Monster Hunter again. Now, in this file folder, you can always just load the direct load line as you already have it made up for or whatnot, or you don't have to do that. You can just go ahead and load the game directly right here, which keeps a directory. That's new. That's happened since think CMU 1.112, I believe. But yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back in. Pay no attention to the NVIDIA experience up there. That was just updated. I don't know if it's shitting the bed with Breath of the Wild at the moment, but it probably is. And bingo bango, there we go. So, we're in as if nothing ever happened. And that's the great thing. When one button is to dismiss and one button is to literally keep the conversation going and you just want to skip through it. Alright, so Monster Hunter is up. It is running. We no longer, as in the past CMUs, we don't see the black flickering. However, we do see the artifacting. Now, I'm going to go over how to get rid of these crazy weird artifacts. But first, I'm going to go into this house. I'm going to look at that cat like, yeah, what's up, cat? And then I'm going to go into this bed. And I will save so that I do not have to stand in front of this guy again, but I probably will because reasons. Now, I'm not going to go into how to play the game, what to do, and how to do everything. A lot of Monster Hunter fans from olden days already know what's up. You have your reward system, you have your box of stuff, you have the ability to change and customize yourself, you have your ship to go into the harder missions, which I recommend just going into the harder missions if you're already a veteran. Talk to this cat, get on the boat, go to the online area. But that's just me. Alright, now that this is done, and we don't want to or need to do anything about this, what we're going to do is we're going to go and, well, we can click off of this too. We're going to go and set that CMU folder to the side, and we're going to download, where is it at? Right here. The NVPI, which is the NVIDIA Profile Inspector. But I'm not just downloading any NVIDIA Profile Inspector. In fact, I am downloading it from a very well-known emulator YouTuber by the name of The Complaining Gamer. He's done us a great service by actually making a custom version of it. And you can get that custom version of it from here, which I will not just link. I will not link this in the description. Well, I probably will link this in the description, but I will also link his page in the description. If you do not know who he is a great YouTuber who has helped the CMU community far more than I am, and I will give all of the credit and respect to him for doing this for us. So, as it stands, if you go to his page, give him a thumbs up, tell him I sent you, tell him what's up. Aside from that, all you would need to do is to download the attached file. I already have it downloaded, so I will go ahead and minimize this, make a new folder. We're going to call this NVPI folder. We're going to call this NVPI test folder. Drag and drop the zip file into the folder as such. Open the folder. Extract into the folder as so. And it already comes with its own folder, but that's fine. Alright, so what you want to do after that is you'll see the inspector. Go ahead and open the NVIDIA inspector. Once you see the NVIDIA inspector, and it should be going over everything, There might need to be an update for it. I'm not sure. I haven't said that there should be, but currently it's actually looking at my NVIDIA update, which is at the top. All right. First thing you guys want to do is you want to go to the side right here, and it says show all, or excuse me, show unknown settings for an NVIDIA predetermined profiles. Click on that. Next thing you want to do is you want to delete that and type in CEMU. Now you should see CEMU pop up. You can go ahead and click that. Now that should go for all the CEMUs that I have, which I have now 3 of them, because I always keep an old one just in case something in the new one is kind of wonky, and I'll just keep playing the old one if need be. Alright, now that we're done with that, you'll see that these are numbered. Compatibility, number 2 is sync and refresh, number 3 is anti-aliasing, number 4 is texture and filtering, number 5 is common, number 6 is SLI, number 7 is stereo, number 8 is extra. Where you want to go to is number 8, and then you want to scroll all the way to the bottom of number 8, and we're looking for tile cache. It's right here. So with a lot of updates, your tile cache is going to automatically be turned back on at some point. Just go into NVIDIA Inspector, click on the drop down button, turn it off. After you turn it off, there's a button right here that says apply changes. Click apply changes. Turn that off. Get out of your folder. Go back to CEMU. Open up the executable. Run the directory. Now what you saw there is it's the shader cache that is being built in real time as you play the game, which is great because since this game doesn't use a lot of shaders, and yes, it can be a problem, and you might want to build up your shader cache depending on how strong or weak your hardware is. Now that's not a diss, I'm just speaking the truth when I say this. Not everybody has a mid to high-end computer. I understand that, and I'm not dissing anybody for saying such. I just want to make it very clear before anybody comes in with crazy expectations. Anyway, now that we jump right back into the game, we can see that the artifacting is gone. This setup that Complaining Gamer has made not only helps with Monster Hunter Ultimate 3, but it also helps with Zelda Breath of the Wild, which gets rid of the lava and wind artifacting that happens in that game once emulated. Let me move this mouse over. And it is a great thing. Again, I can't say enough. I can't thank Complaining Gamer enough for what he's done. He has made it easier for us to enjoy Monster Hunter. And with that, I might just jump in and give him an extra thumbs up just because. But anyway. Well, right now that is the end of this video and the end of this tutorial. And let me know what you thought about it. Write your comments down below. Give a thumbs up. I don't usually tell people to subscribe. I let people subscribe based on the work that I create for the community itself. If you feel like subscribing, that's great. If you don't, hey, don't worry about it. If you give it a thumbs down, hey, tell me why it sucked. Aside from that, guys, take care. Be good to each other and be good to yourself. Always be good to yourself, though, regardless of that. So, yeah, I guess that is it. If there's anything extra, I might just pop in and do a small video of something extra. I do plan on just doing a Wii U USB helper video as well. So, just letting you guys know about that. I might do that later on. It depends on what time constraints I have. Anyway, you guys take care. I'm fucking joining on. I'm sorry about that. You guys have a awesome rest of your week.